Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to be diving deep into a piece of tech that millions of us use every single day, often without really understanding what it's actually doing under the hood. I'm talking, of course, about virtual private networks, or VPNs. Today, we're demystifying the architecture of privacy. We'll look at how a VPN establishes a secure, encrypted tunnel to protect your internet traffic, exactly what information is visible to different groups, like your internet service provider or the websites you visit, and we're going to clarify the absolutely crucial difference between online privacy and true anonymity. I am super excited to unpack this whole shebang for you today, so let's just get right to it. So does a VPN actually make you completely anonymous? You know the drill. Every day, people boot up their laptops, click that little connect button on their VPN app, and assume they've just become a digital ghost. There's this huge assumption that your internet service provider can't see a thing, websites have no clue who you are, and hackers are just left completely in the dark. But is that actually true? Does a VPN really hide everything? Today, we're going to follow a single internet request through a VPN tunnel and discover exactly where that protection begins, and honestly, just as importantly, where it ends. To really wrap our heads around the value of a VPN, we kind of have to start with a relatable scenario. Picture this. You're sitting at an airport gate waiting for your flight. You grab an overpriced coffee, connect to the free public Wi-Fi, flip open your laptop, log into your office portal, check your bank account, maybe browse some university emails. Well, here is the massive problem with that. Without any protection, your internet traffic is passing through an open, totally untrusted network that you do not control. Literally anyone on that same network could potentially be eavesdropping on your data. And this specific vulnerability, that's exactly the problem VPNs were designed to solve. All right, Section 1, Building the Secure Tunnel, Changing the Data Journey. Let's look at how a VPN fundamentally alters the path your data takes to keep it safe from those airport Wi-Fi snoobs. I want you to imagine sending confidential paper documents through a transparent glass pipe. Anyone just walking by can look right through the glass and read all your private information, right? That is your standard unprotected public Wi-Fi connection. Now, instead, imagine placing a thick, solid steel pipe inside that glass one and sending your documents through the steel pipe. People nearby can still see that a pipe exists, sure, and they can see that something is traveling through it, but the contents inside, they're entirely hidden from view. That solid steel pipe is your VPN tunnel. Your device encrypts your data and basically shoves it inside this protected tunnel before it ever even leaves your computer. Okay, let's break this down step by step and look at the exact journey your data takes. It starts with step 1, connect and authenticate. Before any tunnel is even created, your device reaches out to the VPN server to verify your account, and critically, your device verifies the server isn't just some attacker in disguise. Once that trust is established, we move to step 2, encrypt and send. Your device encrypts your web request, say navigating to a news site, and fires it through that steel pipe. Then we hit step 3, VPN forwards request. The encrypted traffic hits the VPN server, which strips away that outer layer of protection, sees where you actually want to go, and forwards the request to the website on your behalf. Finally, step 4, receive and decrypt. The website sends the data back to the VPN server, which encrypts it all over again, sends it through the tunnel back to you, where your device finally decrypts it so you can actually read the web page. Think of a normal, direct request like handing a naked, open letter to a delivery courier. Anyone who handles that letter can just read it. But using a VPN, it's like taking that exact same letter, putting it inside a locked briefcase, and then handing the briefcase to the courier. The courier transports it, but has zero way to read the letter inside. This is the absolute magic of encapsulation. Your device locks up your internet traffic before it ever touches that untrusted public airport Wi-Fi. Moving right along to Section 2. Who sees your data? The visibility matrix. So now that we have this awesome secure tunnel, we really need to ask what the different entities on the internet can actually observe. Let's break this matrix down. Look at that top row, your internet service provider or ISP. With a VPN turned on, they can no longer see your data contents or your final destination. All they see is that you are connected to a VPN server. They are completely 100% blinded to your actual activity. But look at the second row, the VPN provider. Once your traffic reaches the VPN server, the provider carries it the rest of the way. Depending on how they're set up, they might be able to observe your connection. And this is exactly why choosing a trustworthy VPN provider is absolutely paramount. A VPN doesn't eliminate the need for trust, guys. It simply shifts your trust from your ISP over to the VPN provider. And finally, the website. The website sees the VPN's IP address, not your real physical IP. But does that mean they don't know who you are? Let's find out. Section 3, Privacy versus True Anonymity, Shattering the Myth. Okay, listen up, because this is perhaps the most important distinction you need to take away from this entire explainer. It is time to dismantle a massive misconception. The myth is that a VPN makes you completely anonymous online. The reality? A VPN improves your privacy, primarily by protecting your network traffic and masking your public IP address, but websites can absolutely still identify you. Think about it. If you connect to your VPN and then immediately log into your personal Google or Facebook account, they know exactly who you are. No disguise is going to hide that. Furthermore, browser cookies, device fingerprinting, and a whole host of other tracking mechanisms can still give away your identity. Remember this, privacy and anonymity are just not the same thing. A VPN provides privacy, for sure, but definitely not complete anonymity. Which leads us to another vital question. Let's jump back to our airport scenario for a second. Can a VPN stop hackers on public Wi-Fi? Like, if someone is sitting right next to you at the boarding gate running some sneaky packet sniffing program, are you safe just because your VPN is switched on? Well, the answer is a bit nuanced. Yes, the VPN significantly reduces the risk of that attacker reading or modifying your network traffic as it travels through the air. To them, they just see that locked briefcase we talked about. However, a VPN only protects network communication. It absolutely does not replace endpoint security. Actually, scratch that. It's more like this. If that hacker next to you tricks you into downloading malware, or if your laptop is already infected with a virus, the VPN cannot protect the data that the malware steals directly from your hard drive before it even enters the secure tunnel. It's protecting the transit, not the device itself. Let's jump into Section 4, Cryptography Behind the Scenes. What happens in a few seconds? Let's look at the incredibly heavy lifting happening seamlessly in the background. The very moment you click Connect, your app rapidly executes this intense cryptographic checklist to build a wall of security around your data. First up, Authentication verifies your device and the server. Next, Key Exchange securely establishes temporary, secret passcodes between you and the server. Then, strong encryption kicks in to scramble the data inside the tunnel. Alongside all that, integrity protection runs continuously, like a watchdog, to detect if anyone tries to tamper with or modify your packets while they're traveling. And finally, session keys ensure that the keys used to lock your data are temporary, used only for that one active session and constantly replaced. And the craziest part, all of this happens in literally a split second. And powering all of this intense math are modern protocols like WireGuard, OpenVPN, and IPsec. Now, while engineers might debate all day about their different architectures or whether one prioritizes blazing fast speed over, say, complex enterprise configurability, the truth is that all of these modern protocols rely on the core cryptographic principles we just outlined. They all work to build that trusted communication tunnel over an inherently untrusted network. All right, Section 5, the real security weakness. Thinking like an attacker. So, if the math is so incredibly strong, where is the flaw? Well, if you're an attacker, breaking a properly implemented VPN tunnel using brute force math is practically impossible. It's just too difficult, it would take lifetimes. So you don't attack the steel pipe. You attack the person using it. You distribute fake VPN apps to trick them, you steal their login credentials, you build phishing websites. Because remember, a VPN encrypts your traffic, but it does not tell you if the website you are visiting is actually trustworthy. You use device malware or social engineering. The strong cryptography absolutely protects the tunnel, but ultimately, the user, you and me, we are still the most vulnerable link in the chain. So we've learned today that while a VPN is a ridiculously powerful tool for securing your data across untrusted networks, like that airport Wi-Fi, it doesn't make you invisible, and it definitely requires you to place a lot of trust in the VPN provider itself. Which leaves us with a pretty provocative final question to chew on. If a VPN doesn't hide everything, and trust is just shifted to a server sitting in the middle, how do modern messaging apps achieve true end-to-end encryption, where literally no one in the middle can read anything? Now that is a fascinating topic, and it is exactly what we will uncover in our next explainer. Thank you so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next one.